Hello everybody, Cat Eyes here. Welcome back to my gaming channel. And today I say that either today or Sunday, well tomorrow, that I will be making a review video of what are my final thoughts about the Last of Us Part 2. So bear with me. I've been thinking a lot of what just happened. Uh, I watched all my videos of this game, tried to understand it clearly of what my final opinion of this game, what ratings I give this game, about its gameplay, its story, what I thought about the characters, and mostly what I thought about the ending. And yeah, so just bear with me. This is my first time doing a review, so if I start rambling, I'm sorry. It's like they make it so I've seen YouTube gamers doing reviews and they make it look so easy, but like you have to think really long and hard about the game. You have to give your honest opinion about the game. So start off by reading this about the plot of what Naughty Dog wanted us to understand about this game. What would you do if someone you loved was the victim of a cruel and violent act? How easily could one's mind tip towards violent retribution? How far would you go to bring the people responsible to justice? If you were successful, how would it change you? Would you ever be the same? So, obviously, excuse me. So obviously, the whole plot of the story that Naughty Dog explained right here, the questions that that Ellie's role in the game is she's seeking vengeance on Abby for what she did to Joel, beating him to death with a golf club, and the reason is why. So let's start from the very beginning. So obviously, the trailers I've seen from the very beginning, from either 2016 or 17, we see um, Ellie playing the guitar and seeing dead bodies on the floor and seeing Joel coming inside asking Ellie like, what are you doing, kiddo? You sure you want to go through with this? And she's saying, I'm gonna find and kill every last one of them. Like, oh my god. So like, who is it that Ellie is off to kill? And then we see and then we see this mysterious woman, Abby. Hold on, so yeah, so we see this mysterious woman that we all don't know we don't know who her name is. We all know that she's gonna be a new character of the game, and we all find out her name is Abby. Okay, so what is Abby's role in this game? Is she a villain? Is she a hero, or just say what's that word? Protagonist of the game? So we see the other trailers like we see like Jackson's like we see no, not Jackson. We see like Ellie um having like to trying to help somebody. We see on the ground telling that person to like please stop, like please don't. Um and we see her on like just fighting a Seattle, like wait, like who is she fighting? At first we all at first the trailer we see with Ellie and Dina kissing, and then it turns to another scene where Ellie is killing these people. Like, wait, who are these people? We learned from the game playing that it's the Seraphites. But not only is she finding the Seraphites, she's also finding these people called the WLF, Washington Liberation Front. That's Abby and her friends. So like I thought, and when I saw Joel get killed by her, Abby, I was just shocked. And you guys saw me cry. You guys saw me cry just seeing Joel getting tortured and beaten to death by Abby with a golf club, and hearing Ellie's cries like, oh my god. At that point, like, oh my god, like, is this happening? Like, wait a minute, is Joel gonna die? And right when I heard that crack from his skull break, like, holy no, like, oh no, like, is this for real? So it was like, okay, I don't understand. We've all seen the trailers. We all seen Joel alive. Um, we all seen Joel alive. We even saw the part where Ellie was getting her mouth covered by somebody, and we all thought immediately like, okay, it's Joel, and it was. But no, like we saw Joel die by the hands of Abby, and it's like, okay, wait, I'm confused. What's going on? Like, did the trailers that Naughty Dog give out on YouTube was all like a lie? Was that like a trick? Like, did they plan all this from the very beginning, or they just change it at the very last minute? Like, okay, instead of Joel going to the journey with Ellie Seattle, we just decided to kill him off for early 2 to 3 hours into the game. Because in my opinion, I actually thought like maybe it was probably Dina, Ellie's girlfriend. I thought it was Dina that was gonna die, or it could have been somebody else like Tommy, Maria, or Jesse. But no, it was Joel the whole time. Like, wait, so you mean to tell me that that we don't get to see Joel in the present, like going on the journey with Ellie, but instead we see Dina going on the journey with Ellie instead? Like, that was just completely unacceptable. Like, I bawled my eyes out. I've been wondering from the very beginning till the end, like, okay, why did Naughty Dog do this? Like seriously? So then, like, oh, so then like Ellie, during her 3 days at Seattle, she goes on the verge of revenge, to kill every last of the people who were involved with Joel's murder. And, we seen her kill Jordan, the guy with the scar across his face that she scratched with her switchblade. We only see him like 2 times. Where we see him, uh, where we see him with Abby, seeing him. We see Jordan seeing Abby kill Joel, and we see him the second time keeping Ellie captive and trying to kill Dina, but Ellie kills him, and then Ellie kills off Nora. Man, I hated Nora. I think out of all the characters I hate Abby, but I also hated Nora too. Because when Ellie finally found Nora at the hospital, and when Nora told Ellie that Joel got what he deserved, like, you should not have said that. And just seeing Ellie beat Nora being Nora to death with a crowbar was I don't want I'm not trying to sound mean, but like, Nora deserved it. I don't care. Like, she was such a bad person. And Ellie, she did what she had to do to get information out of Nora to know where Abby's whereabouts are, and that's what Ellie did. At that point, I think Ellie was traumatized with what she did. I mean, she did what she had to do. That's my pain right there. She did what she had to do. Nora was gonna die anyway, so um, and then Ellie kills off Owen and Mel. Owen, I mean, I don't know. I hate him from the very beginning. I still hate him until till the end. Uh, we barely really don't. I mean, we only like we see him in the flashbacks, and we see him, Abby talking to him about what happened with the scars, happened with the scars, and them having that unnecessary sex scene. Like, oh, seriously, really? Other than that, Owen, he got what he deserved too, and Mel, Ellie was really traumatized with what she did. I mean, she didn't know Mel was pregnant for that one point. I have to say Mel deserved it too for getting involved with Abby's plan to go head up to Jackson and kill Joel. Mel deserved it too, pregnant or not. Mel still deserved Mel still deserved what she get, for getting involved with Abby to kill Joel, pregnant or not. Sorry. And Manny, Ellie didn't get to kill Manny, but Tommy did. Whew, man, seeing Manny get his head blown off, it was just so unexpected. Like, oh my god. But yeah, another friend of Abby gone. But but then Naughty Dog said I could be read on Wikipedia that Naughty Dog said we were gonna be playing as Ellie since she's the protagonist, but they didn't mention the fact that we were also gonna play as Abby. That was unexpected. Like, wait, what? We're gonna be playing as Abby, the mysterious woman. Um, so it's like, so okay, let's see who this Abby person was. And then of course, we see her traveling her way, maybe trying to get to Jackson. Okay, so clearly, so I think Abby is a villain. So then, she gets herself, ambushed by a couple of infected, or just say a horde of infected, and then she get herself saved by Tommy and Joel. And then she brought them back to her people. And when Joel and Tommy told Abby's friends their names, at that point, like, it all went silent. Like, oh my god, I knew at that point, like, something was gonna happen. And then Abby grabs her shotgun and just shoots Joel on the leg. Like, oh, what the, like, what was that? Like, what's going on? And she just questions, Joel, like, Joel Miller. And Joel just like, whatever you're gonna do, like, just get it over with. And Abby just grabbed a golf club and hit him right in the head. At that point, like, immediately, like, I hated Abby. Like, oh my god, like, Abby is gonna get what she deserves. She is gonna get that beat down from Ellie. Like, and we all wondered, like, okay, what just happened? Why did Abby kill Joel? She didn't even, explain. She just went. She just immediately just went straight to, just killing Joel, like, just immediately, like, just whacking him with a golf club. So, Ellie just started. So, other than that, with the characters, Ellie went off to Seattle with Dina, learning about the WLF and the Seraphites. Um, and uh, on Seattle Day 3, she she was heading off to the aquarium because that's what Nora told her, that that's where Abby would be. But Abby wasn't there because she was at the Seraphites Island helping with Yara and Lev, two former members of the Scars. And what happened? Yeah, like, Ellie killed Abby, and Ellie killed Owen and Mel. Um, they went back to the theater. She went back to the theater with Jesse and Tommy, and then Abby followed. Well, not Abby didn't follow. She found the map to where Ellie was. I mean, she even know Ellie was in Seattle, so she only saw Tommy since Tommy attacked her. So Abby only thought probably Tommy was just alone. So, and then right there when Abby confronted Ellie, we suddenly all of a sudden just switch around. We're gonna play as Abby for the next couple hours of the game. Like, wait, what? We're gonna play as Abby, the person who killed Joel. So, like, maybe at that point, like, Naughty Dog wanted us to understand, want us to understand uh, Abby's side of the story. Like, we can find out the truth on why she killed Joel and whatnot. Like, okay, let's give Abby a chance. Like, don't start hating on her now. I mean, we already started hating her from the beginning for seeing her kill Joel, but now playing as her, I guess we got to understand her side of the story and maybe change our mind about her. So then we see flashbacks of Abby and learning that she was a former Firefly along with Owen and the rest, and her father Jerry Anderson turns out learning that he was the surgeon that was going to do the surgery on Ellie to create a vaccine. So it was like, oh my god, I immediately like thought at that point, but at the same time I could be wrong. So then right when the alarm came on, and then Abby went straight to where the room should be where where Ellie's getting surgery. um, Abby sees her father dead on the floor, blood everywhere, and is like, so that's why Abby went after Joel. That's why Joel killed her father, and she was seeking vengeance on Joel. At that point made me think like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't hate Abby anymore. But then again, is like, I think I pretty much explained it on that live stream. I explained saying like, okay, I completely understand. I completely understand what Abby went through, losing her father. But then again, Joel, he didn't know that the surgeon that was gonna do surgery on Ellie was Abby's father. Well, that's one point right there. How was Joel supposed to know that? Two, when Abby finally met Joel, she didn't even like explain to him. She just she just went straight to being a cold-blooded murderer. Just went straight to killing Joel, getting all her anger out, or her hatred on Joel, for him killing her father. She didn't even explain. So like I mean, I don't know, like, so like Naughty Dog really wanted us to think this over, like, okay, maybe, yeah, you shouldn't hate on Abby, like she had her reasons, but like still she could have gave Joel a chance. She could have let him explain. They could at least talked, but she didn't. And then we see her go off, and then that part where she she was trying, and we see a part where she was trying to find Owen. Here, what happened to Owen with the scars, and this guy named Danny. That like Owen killed Danny for protecting a scar. So, and Abby completely like thought like, okay, if I was Owen, where would I go? And she thought the Ferris wheel. That's probably where he would be. And right when she was on the journey, and right when she started her journey to find Owen, she gets herself kidnapped by the Seraphites, and she was in the process of being, hanged and getting gutted, because that's how the Seraphites get to, because that's what I saw the Seraphites doing. Like they will hung their victims, and they will gut them, and they say like, he is free, she is free, whatever, all that stuff, like crazy cult stuff, whatever. But then she and Yara, and Lev, two new characters that we see along with Abby, two former Seraphites. They were running away from them because Lev cut off his hair, or should I say, shaved off his hair. And it's like, wait, what? The Seraphites are chasing after Yara and Lev because Lev shaved off his head. That is so stupid. But with their rules and having to their laws and punishment, whatever, it's completely ridiculous. Um, Yara convinced Lev to let Abby down, and so we see Abby and both of them, and we see Abby, Lev, and Yara working together. WLF and two Seraphites working together on killing infected and other Seraphites, and so that happened, and then Abby dealing with Owen, and then Abby wanted to come back to help Lev and Yara, because she had a feeling that the Seraphites are looking for them, and that's what she did. She came back for Yara and Lev, and like, for what reason? Like, wait a minute. Abby, um, Seattle's top Scar Killer is helping Scars? Like, what is her reason? One, she said, like, Lev and Yar are just kids. And I agree on that part. Like, Lev and Yar are just kids. They're harmless. They don't really look bad. They're just trying to, survive. And two, um, Yara saved Abby from the Seraphites, almost getting herself hanged and gutted. So I guess Abby wanted to return the favor. And and also that Yara, she had an injured arm, having compartment syndrome, and she needed to get her arm amputated. And Abby was willing to risk herself to go get medical supplies at the hospital at the lowest level with that damn Rat King. Jesus. I can't remember how many times I died, but I think about like 4 or 5 times. Oh my god, that was crazy. But yeah, but other than that, uh, Abby didn't go alone. You saw that Abby didn't go alone. She went with Lev because Lev knows his way around where to take a shortcut to get to the hospital, like going up to the highest building and crossing to a bridge, the longest bridge they built, and that was crazy. Abby having her fear of heights, she almost made it, but both Lev and Abby fell down on glass, but at the same time they fell inside a pool. They were lucky at that point. They ain't lucky to fall to their deaths. But other than that, due to Journey, Abby and Lev were sort of creating Abby and Lev were like creating a bond with each other. They don't see each other as enemies anymore. They actually see each other as friends. And I'll be honest, like I was kind of liking the relationship between Abby and Lev. But at that point, I still didn't like Abby. I was starting to like Lev and starting to like Yara. I was starting to like them characters, Lev and Yara. But also, Abby learning the truth about Lev, that Lev is not actually a boy, he's actually a girl. That's why the Seraphites were going after him mostly. Uh, he shaved off his hair because he wants to be a boy. But the Seraphites didn't like that. They don't accept that kind of thing, transgender, and so they wanted to kill him for that. And Abby, she doesn't seem so shocked about it. She seemed pretty cool. She was like, oh, okay. And also, Lev's real name is Lily. Yeah. Girl name Lily, but he prefers to be called Lev instead. Yeah, so again, Abby, she doesn't seem so shocked about it. She seems, cool. She seems to be cool, learning the fact that Lev wants to be a boy, not a girl, and yeah. And so, Abby was able to get the medical supplies and head back to the aquarium with Lev, and Abby's relationship with Lev and Yar goes deeper. Yara doesn't see Lev. Yara doesn't see Abby as a bad person. You don't see Abby as a bad person. Abby should like explain what she has done, since pretty much Mel thinks Abby was a bad person, because Abby is. She turned into a cruel, cold-blooded murderer to go after Joel for what he did to her father, and that caused her relationship with Mel to be severed. Mel didn't want to do anything with Abby. Right there, like, because she was really she was really skeptical about Abby. Like, okay, Abby, why are you helping the Scars? What is going on with you? Is it because of Owen? Because he didn't kill the Scar and whatnot? Like, what is going on? Well, Mel at that point, Mel completely severed her relationship with Abby. Water. So then, okay. So at that point, like, okay, we see Abby creating a bond with Lev and Yar, two former Scars. So then, okay, like, is Naughty Dog trying to make us change our minds about Abby. Like, okay, Abby doesn't seem like a bad person anymore. Seeing her having a good relationship with Lev and Yara makes her a good person now. Like, to me, in my opinion, that doesn't really change anything. Abby did what she did, and Abby is never gonna forget that. And I don't think, her forming a bond with Lev and Yara is gonna change that either. What she did to Joel was sadistic, and I mean, who can forget that? Abby clearly can forget that. So then, in the further of the story, you see Lev going back to the Seraphites Island, and Yara and Abby going after him. They were able to find Lev. Their mother died. Yara and Lev's mother died. She hit her head on the table and bleed out. Excuse me. It was sad that Yara got killed by one of the WLF member. Yeah, like, I don't know, you guys heard from the live streams, but Isaac, the leader of the WLF, he was planning an ambush on the Seraphites Island, the start of a war between the WLF and the Seraphites. Yeah, so Yara got killed by a WLF member, and it was just Lev and Abby. Hearing Abby call Lev that he's her people, Abby at that point doesn't see the WLF as her people anymore, her family, not anymore. She sees Lev as her family, her people. I felt it when she said that. So it's like, it makes me more question about, okay, I don't know whether I should hate Abby. I don't know whether I should still hate Abby, or I should not hate her anymore. Like, maybe I could still like her. Like maybe I can still hate her just a little bit, but then liking her just a little bit too. Like, I don't know. But yeah, but then that happened. That whole war between the WLF and the Seraphites was a disaster. They were just going full on slaughtering each other. It was crazy. And then Abby and Lev go back to the aquarium. Abby found Abby found Owen and Mel's dead body. Lev finds a map, Ellie's map, and Abby heads off to the theater where Ellie is hiding, and it brings us back, to the present. Ellie and Abby confronting each other and having their fight. That was crazy. But that was so unfair. Like, at that point, we didn't get to switch back. I didn't get to switch back to being Ellie. I still had to play as Abby. Like, wait, what? So you mean to tell me that I went through all those hours playing as Abby and I don't get to switch back to Ellie? That's crazy. But on the verge of playing, on the verge and still playing as Abby and having to fight Ellie, I enjoy, just seeing Ellie kill Abby a little bit. Like, I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound a savage, but that's me saying that makes me sound like a savage a little bit. I kind of enjoyed seeing Ellie kill Abby a couple times. Jeez. But yeah, Abby almost beating Ellie to death. Abby broke Ellie's arm, like, ugh, and beating her down. And when Dina came out of nowhere, trying to, at that point, like, oh no, is Abby gonna kill Dina too? Because Abby killed Jesse. I thought she killed Tommy, but Tommy was still alive in the end. And now, she's gonna kill Dina too? But then again, like, Ellie did kill Mel, but Ellie didn't know Mel was pregnant. And then Ellie telling Abby that Dina's pregnant, so don't kill her. But Abby saying good, but like don't. But then Mel was able to Lev was able to convince Abby to don't kill Dina and don't kill Ellie. Like let's just go. And that's what Abby did. Abby told Ellie that she doesn't want to see her again, and that was it. So it was like, okay, so that's it. And then another, like maybe another time skip, maybe, I don't know. Another time skip, we see Ellie on a farm with Dina and her baby JJ, which I think they named JJ after Joel and Jesse. Where's JJ? I saw him right here somewhere. Right here. Look at that little guy. Oh my god. Review. Look at that. How can you not resist that face? Look at him. He is so adorable. Yeah, so I think Dina and Ellie named JJ after Joel and Jesse. It was sad, that Jesse died. He was, I really liked him. He was a good character. He was cool at the minute when, he let Ellie date Dina, and he decided to head off to Seattle too to help Ellie and Dina, and see him get shot in the head by Abby. It was like, again, unexpected, like Joel's death. It was totally unexpected. It was so sad. He doesn't get to meet his son, his beautiful, adorable baby boy. Sad. So yeah, Ellie has a family with Dina, and they're really really happy. They're living happily in the farm. They have farm animals, and they look happy. And then we see Ellie suffering from night terrors, or I should say nightmares and daymares. She was suffering from post traumatic stress disorder, short PTSD. There you go. And so Ellie was suffering from that. She keeps seeing Joel. She keeps hearing his screams. She can't forget what happened in Seattle. She said she couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat. She's just really suffering for what happened in Seattle. She just can't really forget about that. I mean, who can forget about that? So then, we see Tommy surprisingly alive. Like here, we see, I mean, you saw it, in the game, like he was having like a limp. I think it was, I forgot which leg it was, but I think it was this leg, the right one. I think it was that one that he was limping. And then let me zoom in a little bit. He lost an eye. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't really see it, but I mean, you can see like that scar right there. So we see Abby shoot Tommy, like it was like in the head, but no, it actually like scratched his eye, or maybe it went through his eye. I don't know, but that's what happened. Miraculously, Tommy survived. It's like how many people Ellie's gonna lose. And so Tommy visited Dina and Ellie. He found out where Abby and Lev are. They were somewhere in Santa Barbara because they heard rumors about the Fireflies, regrouping. And Dina told Tommy that they were done with that. Like, we're not gonna deal with that anymore. Like, but when they came back to Jackson, Tommy quoted what Ellie told him, that I'll make her pay. I'll make Abby pay, calling Ellie a coward. I don't blame Tommy for still being mad at Abby. I don't blame Tommy at all for that. He lost his big brother, and he really wants to see Abby dead. And of course he can, because he has a limp and he lost an eye that prevents him from fighting and traveling, I think. Yeah. And so, Ellie, it gave her time to think. Hold on, sorry. It gave her time to think, like, okay, so should I really go after Abby at Santa Barbara, or should I just stay and forget about it? And Ellie decided to go after Abby, and Dina, she didn't want Ellie to go. Ellie explained to Dina that she can't sleep, she can't eat, she keep having these night terrors every time. Like every time when she goes, it said it on her notebook that every time when she goes hunting and she kills a bear or a boar, instead of hearing an animal scream, she would hear Joel's screams instead. Like it's just horrible what Ellie was suffering. So at that point, like Ellie, like she needs some type of closure. Like she just wants to be at peace. And I'm sad that Dina couldn't really accept that, because I know what Dina went through with Ellie was hard too. I mean, she was pregnant and all, and almost having that near death experience with Abby. And I don't know if you guys saw that scar she had around her shoulder from getting shot at by Lev's arrow, but she had a scar right there around her shoulder. But what Dina went through was hard, but Ellie has it harder, and it was sad that Dina couldn't accept it. And Dina said that she's not gonna do this again. And Ellie told Dina like that's her choice, and Ellie just walked off. So at that point, Ellie, Ellie basically give 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 up Dina and JJ to kill Abby. I don't know what else to say about that. Ellie needs some closure, and that's what Ellie did. Well, we switch off to Abby and Lev again, and we see them, searching houses, trying to find his address, 2425 Constance, and they did, and they find out where a couple of fireflies were. But before that, they found a symbol that showed a scar, that showed a skull and a snake around it. And Lev thought, like, is that the Fireflies logo? And I was like, no, that can't be. I mean, unless the Fireflies are doing something new. But I know for sure that's not a Fireflies logo. You saw what the Firefly logo was. It was a firefly. But no, but that scar and that skull and snake logo, it's something else. And Abby and Lev, they found a radio. They found out where the fireflies are. The guy on the radio said there's about like 200 fireflies. So that whole rumors about the fireflies is true. The fireflies are regrouping. So that's where Abby and Lev are heading off to. They're heading off to some building that's shaped like a dome. That's something I heard. Another island maybe. But after they do that, or should I say before they do that, they get themselves kidnapped by a group called the Rattlers. On their vest, on the back of their vest, I saw the symbol of the skull and the snake. So those were those people called the Rattlers. And I mean, we barely even learned. I mean, we barely even know what the Rattlers were doing. I mean, these people, okay, they live on an island. They simply kidnap stragglers like Ellie, Abby, and Lev, and they would keep them as prisoners and, I don't know, make them suffer or make them their slaves. I don't know. But I know another thing is that they would chain infected, like treat them like they're dogs. And the cool part about it is that I made Ellie let go, like unlock the chain and let the runner go off and kill a rattler. Like, go on, get your revenge, whatever. And that part was pretty cool. Like, I like Naughty Dog did a good job in adding new features. Like, that was just a new feature I never seen before. Like, we get to let go of the infected and let them go kill the bad people. And so, Ellie, she was at the island. She found Abby and Lev's boat. She found Abby and Lev's boat, and she she was heading off to where Abby should be, and but she got herself kind of little tied up, or should I say, hanged up. She got herself hanged up by the ankle, and got herself stabbed by a branch on the side by the kidney area, I think. Oh, that gotta hurt. And she was losing a lot of blood. And the rattlers, there was two of them, but I'll put him up. I think he was the leader. I think he was the leader of the rattlers. He and some other guy, they let Ellie down, and Ellie, I don't know what she was trying to do. She was trying to make um the guy angry, and he was trying to make she was trying to get Ellie to get bitten by a clicker, but instead she fooled him and get himself get eaten by the clicker. Like, dude, you did that to yourself. You brought this, well, not to yourself, you brought this on yourself. You shouldn't be so funny about that. Other than that, Ellie grabbed the silencer machine gun and shoot him down, and wanted to know where Abby is. And he answered Ellie's question, and she killed him anyway. I like, okay, thank you for the information. I just wanted to know where Abby is, and yeah, you're dead. Yeah, so Ellie had to kill a few rattlers, and finally, she went to the cage where Abby should have been, but one of the prisoners told Ellie that Abby's being hanged up, like that Abby tried to escape, and she's somewhere in the pillars, and that's where Ellie went, and we see Abby um hanged up, like hanged up with two arms up over her head. Same thing happened to Lev too, and Abby, ooh, she changed over the last few months she was with the Rattlers. Like, she looked like that. She went from looking like that, to that. She changed completely. She wasn't muscular anymore. The Rattlers cut off her hair. She didn't have that long, nice um what they call that? That fishtail? No, it can't. It's not. It's not a fishtail ponytail. I think it's a fishtail ponytail, but other than that, they cut off her beautiful long braided ponytail, and you can see from her skin like she got like sunburned. They basically made her made her starved for like a good couple weeks, and yeah, she doesn't look, she doesn't look buff as an ox before. They made her look weak, made her be weak. And at that point, okay, so Ellie found Abby and hung up, and it's like, is that like? And then we see Ellie get out her switchblade, like, oh my god, is she gonna kill Abby right there? But Ellie doesn't. She brings down Abby, and she helps Lev get down too. And Abby, she said, I don't know, Abby, she doesn't really care that Ellie was there. She just wanted to bring Lev to safety and go head off to the Fireflies on a boat. And at first, we see Ellie go on the boat, and like, okay, like, wait, what's going on? Ellie, you found Abby. You're not gonna kill her? Or, and we see, Ellie thinking about Joel. Like she sees Joel's dead face. Him, was swollen up. And so Ellie forced Abby to fight her. and that's what happened. Ellie and Abby had their second fight. I was surprised that even though Abby was not as buff as she was before, she looked weak. She didn't even want to fight Ellie in the first place, but Ellie was forcing her to. And I was just surprised that Abby had like this much a little bit of energy to fight Ellie. And that's what happened. They fought. Uh, Abby bit off Ellie's two fingers. I thought it was one finger because I could have swore I saw a piece of finger flew out, but no, she bit off two of Ellie's fingers, the ring finger and the pinky, and that didn't stop Ellie to drown Abby. Like Ellie was on the verge of drowning Abby. But at that moment, when she saw a memory of Joel on a chair playing his guitar, and just out of nowhere, Ellie just stopped. She let Abby go. Like she was like that close to killing Abby. So it was like, wait, what just happened? You're not gonna kill Abby? And she just let Abby go. She let Abby go to Lev. And what sucks is that, like, instead of Abby and Ellie fighting, they could at least like talk. They could at least have like a 5-minute conversation at least, okay? No weapons, no fighting, no fist fight, just Abby and Lev, just Abby and Ellie talking. That's it. Having a 5-minute talk, telling each other how they feel, telling her side of the story, Ellie telling her side of the story, and yeah. But no. Always see them as just fighting. Ellie let Abby go. Abby, she didn't even say anything. She just walked off. She went on that boat with Lev and went off to go to where the fireflies are. So at that point it was like, you mean to tell me that Ellie went on that stage of seeking revenge on Abby, killing her friends, and almost dying from Abby, but then Ellie gets back on her feet, goes after Abby again, and doesn't kill her. Like, was that all that for nothing? Like, what was the point? But then we see Ellie back at the farm. The farm looks deserted. We don't hear no farm animals. Ellie goes inside the house. It is completely empty. I was shocked. Like, oh my god, the house is empty, so that means Dina and JJ left. Dina and JJ left. Like, the house was completely empty. Nothing in the kitchen. Nothing in the rooms. The bed was completely made up. There was none of JJ's stuff. Like, so I guess that's what Dina meant by sorry. Trying to hydrate my throat. Dina left with JJ. So I was saying, like, so that's what Dina meant, but like she can't do this anymore. She's not gonna do this again. And Ellie basically gave her a choice, and Dina's choice was pack up all of her stuff in the house, leave Ellie's stuff upstairs, and leave and take AJ with her and leave. In my opinion, I think they went back to Jackson. I mean, there's basically like they didn't mention no other place to go, so I think they went back to Jackson, because I know there was a note where like Jesse's parents, I think, asking about like it's nice, you know, JJ's doing fine, and that Ellie and Dina are doing okay, and they were hoping that, you know, someday they will come back to Jackson. So I think Dina took JJ back to Jackson. So that's what I think, in my opinion. I think Dina and JJ went back to Jackson. It's even sadder. That was sad, and it's even sadder that Dina didn't even like let the note. She just left. Because, Ellie, she goes around the house. She goes upstairs where her stuff is, the paintings and wallpapers, and most of all, the guitar, Joel's guitar, with the symbol of the moth. And we see her play with, we see Ellie trying to play, and, her missing, her missing 2 fingers. Only has 8 fingers now. She's trying to play Joel's song, and there goes another flashback. There was Joel and Ellie talking about what happened with the firefly. Well, at first they talk about what happened at the party, and then Ellie brings up about about the fireflies. She's still pissed that what Joel did, taking her away from the fireflies. That like her life could have mean something since she's immune, and she was willing to sacrifice her own life. That one hope, that one chance that the fireflies could make a vaccine and save millions of people. And I was shocked to hear that Joel told Ellie, he said, and I quote, "If God were ever to give me a second chance, I would do that all over again." When Joel said that, I immediately thought, like, so Joel still thinks that he did the right thing. He still thinks that taking Ellie away from the fireflies was the right thing to do. He risked it. He wasn't going to risk losing another daughter. He lost his daughter Sarah. For 20 years he's been angry for his whole life, and then he goes on this mission to bring Ellie to the fireflies, and on that long journey traveling across the country to get to the fireflies, he forms this father-daughter relationship with Ellie, and he calls her baby girl, and it's like, oh my god. And the end of the first game, like, we hear, Ellie is going to get surgery to get that fungus out of her brain to make the vaccine, and Joel, he didn't like hearing that, and he risked it. He risked that one hope, that one chance that this could save millions of lives to make a vaccine, and he took that away from the fireflies. And, like, again, to me, I think Joel did the right thing. Why? One, there could have been another way. Surgery could not have been any other way. I think Naughty Dog in the first game basically put it that way, like making us think that the surgery is the one thing that could have, Naughty Dog want to make us think that doing surgery on Ellie was the only way to make a vaccine. But I know for sure there are other ways to make a vaccine, like through plasma, through blood and whatnot. But hearing Jerry, Abby's father, saying that, like, they can't create a vaccine without killing the host. I don't know. I think that's what he said. It was something about the host. I remember that, like they can't kill the host. And that's what I think. Joel did the right thing in taking Ellie away from the fireflies, because one, there should have been another way. Surgery could not be the only thing to make a vaccine. And two, if Joel didn't have, take, let's say, if Joel didn't take Ellie away from the fireflies, then Ellie couldn't never have met Dina, could never have met Jesse, and overall she could have never have made, a happy life in Jackson and be able to grow up. Sorry, that's still gonna be my opinion. I still think Joel did the right thing. That's my opinion. if he didn't do that, then Ellie would never have met Dina, didn't have met Jesse, and didn't have a good life in Jackson. There still could have been another way to make a vaccine. I'm sorry. And Ellie said that she said she still could maybe forgive Joel for that, but she said she's willing to try. So okay. So bring up that flashback. Going back to Ellie drowning Abby. Here are like probably the three things I thought about this. So like so one. So since Ellie forgave Joel for what happened with the Fireflies, she might as well thought that I can forgive Abby for killing Joel. That's one thing right there. Two, seeing the memory of Joel, she probably thought to herself that Joel wouldn't want this. Joel wouldn't want Ellie to kill Abby. And three, that killing Abby won't bring Joel back. Those are my three reasons right there, that I think, in my opinion. Because, look what happened to Abby. She seeked her vengeance on Joel, and that screwed up her relationships with her friends. She screwed up her relationship with Mel. She screwed up her relationship with Owen. And saying, and killing Joel didn't bring back her father. So it's like, maybe killing. So like, what Naughty Dog is maybe trying to tell us is like, revenge can be a good thing to do, but at the same time, it can make you lose everything. It can make you lose yourself. And I think that's what happened, to Ellie. For her seeking her revenge on Joel, she lost Dina. I mean, he's not dead, but I think the relationship from then, the last interaction between Tommy and Ellie right there was Tommy called Ellie a coward, and I don't think he'll be. Seeing Ellie walked off, I think she's heading back to Jackson, to be honest, in my opinion. But I think Tommy won't be happy to hear that like Ellie didn't kill Abby. So right there, Ellie lost Dina, she lost JJ, she lost Tommy, she lost Jesse, and most of all, she lost 2 fingers and can't play guitar. Playing guitar was like that last legacy of Joel. She can't play guitar anymore. She was trying to play that song. If I were to lose you, I would lose myself. And right there, like that was like a key point right there. Ellie lost Joel, and at that moment, she lost herself. Seeking vengeance and losing people that was important to her around her. She lost people that was important to her around her. So like, if Abby had never sought vengeance on Joel, then Ellie would have never sought vengeance on Abby. That right there is like a cycle of revenge right there. Abby sought vengeance on Joel, and Ellie sought vengeance on Abby. They both lost people right there at that cause. Abby lost her friends. Ellie lost her 2 fingers, and for that cause, Abby lost her friends. Ellie lost her friends too. Jesse almost lost Tommy. She lost Dina and JJ, giving them up to kill Abby. So they're like, I think that was Naughty Dog trying to make us understand. Revenge can be sweet sometimes, but it can make you lose. It can make you lose important people around you, and revenge can make you lose yourself. You don't see the person you don't see the person you used to be before. I think that was Naughty Dog was trying to tell us in the end, trying to make us understand. So the ending, I wouldn't say I hate it, but I wouldn't say I like it. I'm like in between. It's like both. I hate it, but I also like it at the same time. Like, I don't know, like, I'm like in between there, in the middle. And like, um, so yeah, yeah. That's like my full opinion, of the whole story of what Naughty Dog wanted to make us understand. Like, they made us play two perspectives of The Last of Us Part 2. They make us play two stories. We play as Ellie and then we play as Abby. We understand their side of their stories and try to make us think what our final thoughts about it. And that's where my final thoughts right there you guys heard me say. What I think about the ending and what Naughty Dog wanted us to understand about revenge, and that it can make you lose yourself and make you lose people. It can make you lose people that are important to you, and revenge, killing somebody that did horrible things to you and the person you love. It won't do anything. It won't solve anything. So that's what I think. Overall, the characters, Abby, I don't know. I still don't know what to feel about her, really. I mean, I still hate her for what she did to Joel. She had her reasons. I liked her. I liked her relationship with Lev and Yara. But overall, I still don't know what to feel about Abby, really. Uh, Lev, Lev and Yara. I liked them both. They went through a lot with the Seraphites. It was sad to see Yara get killed. I mean, her having one arm, it was at that point her getting killed by by the WLF member and the rest of them. It was hard for to fight back. Wish could have seen her more. And then there's Lev. I like him too. He's really good with a bow and arrow. Liked his relationship with Abby. Uh, he went through a lot of most with almost getting killed by the Seraphites because he shaved off his head because he wants to be a boy instead of a girl. Um, Overall, I like him. Jesse, man, Jesse. It was sad to see him get killed. Like, it was just out of nowhere. He and Ellie hear some screaming from Tommy. They both go through a door, and then Jesse gets shot in the face. Like, damn. I liked him from the very beginning. I mean, it was cool of him to accept Ellie and Dina's relationship. It was cool of him to come to Seattle and help Ellie and Dina find Abby. Um, Also, he was happy to learn that. I mean, I don't know. He was also sad, but also happy that learning that Dina is pregnant with his baby. He's gonna be a father. But it's sad that he never gets to meet. He never gets to meet his baby boy, his beautiful, adorable baby boy JJ. Sad. Damn. Dina. Aw. Let me view it for a second. Aw, her holding JJ. Okay. Dina, I liked her from the beginning. Um, Seeing her being all lovey-dovey with Ellie, having their moment. Um, Seeing her go on a journey with Ellie to Seattle, but also learning the fact that she's pregnant. Like, dude, you're pregnant and you're still fighting? Like, I gotta say that was impressive. But at the same time, like, dude, you need to slow down. But over in that, it was nice that Dina wanted to help Ellie. But then very end, I was starting to not like Dina anymore. I mean, she's a cool character. I just don't like the fact that that she left and she didn't leave a note. She just left with JJ and probably back to Jackson. I mean, she had to understand what Ellie was going through. She was suffering from PTSD. She's having night terrors about Joel, keep hearing his screams, and Ellie needed closure, and that's what Ellie got. She didn't kill Abby because she knew that killing Abby won't solve anything. Joel probably didn't want Ellie to kill Abby, and Ellie learned. Ellie accept the fact that she should forgive Joel for what happened with the Fireflies, so she decided at the last moment to forgive Abby for killing Joel, and that's what the closure Ellie got. Yeah, so Ellie's a cool character. I just don't like the fact that she didn't, understand what was Ellie going through, Uh, Hold on. Other characters. Tommy, he's cool as always. It was nice to see. It was nice to hear that he went to Seattle to try and kill Abby too, trying to avenge his big brother. And I was almost pissed that he got killed, but he didn't. He only lost an eye and has a limp in the leg. But sad that Tommy was still holding that anger, that hatred towards Abby. And not only that, him and Maria were having time apart from each other. Like, oh no. That's sad, that right there too. The other characters like Owen and Mel, didn't like them from the beginning. I still didn't like them till the end. They all got what they deserved. So like basically what Ellie went through wasn't for nothing. She got to kill the people who were involved with Joel's murder. And even though she didn't kill Abby, I mean, she learned at that last moment that she shouldn't kill Abby. It wasn't worth it. Nora, good riddance too. Jordan too. We only saw him like 2 times and that's it. But yeah, Isaac, man, he was cruel. I mean, right when I first saw him torturing a person in a room, and him talking in a low menacing voice, it was like, okay, I already don't like him. I don't like Isaac. And seeing Abby with a scar, Lev, he wanted to shoot Lev, but Abby, she wasn't moving from an inch. And Isaac at that point, he was hesitating, he didn't want to kill Abby, but I think he was. But Yara got to him first. Good riddance too. Marlene, I can't believe we got to see Marlene again, but only at that flashback about learning that Jerry was gonna do surgery on the LA in order to make a vaccine. Jerry, I don't know. Abby's father, surgeon that Joel killed, but didn't know that was Abby's father. There could have been another way, Jerry. That's all I gotta say to you. There could have been another way to make a vaccine. Maria, we barely get to see her either. I mean, I really see her as always a good leader of Jackson. Is again, it's sad that she and Tommy were taking uh, time apart from each other. Sad. Here, the infected. Um, out of the infected, that like annoyed me the most has got to be the stalkers. Like I know, like yeah, the clickers and the shambler and the bloater and most of all that Raki. My God, that shambler is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? I know like the clickers and the bloater and again most of all the Rakim were all scary. They're all disgusting. But I think out of all the infected, the the stalkers are the most are the worst ones. Why? Is because they are putting on the listen mode while I'm playing the game, and you can really see where what the stalkers do for years of infection. They would hide and they would ambush you, just like that. And it's like, damn, you didn't give me a chance, and having to die over and over again. Like Jesus Christ. And also the fact I hate that like they grow within the walls with a cordyceps infection. Like, are you kidding me? And then they come out of nowhere and ambush you again, trying to kill you. Like, oh, I just hate that. So annoying. Yeah. So other than that, um, um, hope you guys understand what my opinion. Hope you guys understand my opinion of what I think about the story and the ending. And what else I was gonna talk about? So I was gonna talk. My God, uh, Naughty Dog. I just say did a good job on the features. I enjoyed it throughout the whole gameplay of the. Oh yeah, I was also gonna talk about the gameplay too. That too. Um, excuse me. Naughty Dog did a good job in the gameplay. All and the features they did was awesome too. I loved it. Um, the workbenches, upgrading the weapons, I that was so cool. Seeing how Ellie and Abby upgrade the weapons, like that was so cool. I love that. Um, Ellie and Abby were able to do, instead of crouch, they can do prone and hide from their enemies better. I love the new upgrades to the weapons, like with the bow and arrow. You can make bombs along with the bow and arrow and just shoot and kaboom! Like awesome. I love the bombs, the pipe bombs. Um, I love the Molotov bottles as always. What else? Um, the with the dogs, it was scary. That was a new feature right there that scared me. They're able to smell your scent and know where you are, and the only way to make them get off of your scent is during a bottle and make them go the other way, but only like for a short period of time. So that moment you have to move somewhere else, or else they will get your smell again. That was cool and all, but I didn't like the fact that I had to kill the dogs. Like, I killed about at least like 4 dogs. That was horrible. I didn't want to do it, but survival of the fittest right there. Like I could have run too, but like dogs are fast. I mean the way they were running at the way the dogs were running after you, like right there, like yeah, you had to kill the dog. I'm sorry. I didn't like doing that, but that's just how the game was made. Other than that, what else? Teachers. It was cool that Ellie was. It was cool to see Ellie learn how to swim. That was cool feature right there. People were hoping Ellie will learn how to swim. Please let us see Ellie learn how to swim, and she did. Joel promised Ellie she will learn how to swim, and look, she swims. Yay! Um, and that. Hope I didn't miss anything else about. Features. No. Oh, no, I don't think so. If I missed something, I'm sorry. But over in that, I think that's all the features I can think of they did. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. Uh, yeah, so gameplay and features, awesome. Now, here goes the ratings. I've been thinking hard about this, the ratings for The Last of Us Part 2, so here goes. For the gameplay, I've thought about this hard, like, okay, I know you guys heard me say that the gameplay was awesome, I love the features. I'll have to give the gameplay like a 8 out of 10. Right there, 8 out of 10. I gave the gameplay out of 10. Why? It's because one thing, with the dogs. I did enjoy, how to kill the dogs. Like I said, survival of the fittest, but still, I didn't enjoy killing the dogs. Like, that was horrible. Like, ugh, I didn't want to kill the dogs, but I had to. So sorry. Yeah, so gameplay out of 10. The music, I give it 10 out of 10. The music they did is good. Also making like the music along with the gameplay, having to make Ellie and Abby kill the bad guys, make it look suspenseful. Right there, that word suspense. Right there, the music, good job, 10 out of 10. The story, I gave out the story. I mean, think about this long and hard about the story and what I think about the ending. I will have to give it thinking long and hard about this, but this is my overall decision right here. I give it a 6.5, a 6.5 out of 10, right there. I know I could give it like maybe a 7 out of 10, but no, a 6 point out of 10, a 6.5 out of 10, right there. That's my rating for the story. Why? Because one, it was shocking, as always, that Joel got killed early off the game. Two to 3 hours into the game, Joel got killed off early by Abby. It was unexpected. The trailers we saw, Joel was alive. We all thought that Joel was gonna go on a journey with Ellie to Seattle. We all thought like it was probably Dina, or yeah, mostly Dina was gonna get killed, but also could have been someone else like Tommy, Maria, or Jesse. But no, it was Joel the whole time that was gonna get killed off in the beginning. I know deep down, I had a feeling that Joel was gonna die in the Last of Us Part 2, like in the end of the game, but not early into the game. I thought it was gonna be the end, but no, it was early. Like, that was shocking right there. You guys saw me cry when I saw Joel die. Like, it was just unexpected, sad. But I thought at that moment, like, so that's the end. Like, no more seeing Joel. Like, what about the trailers that we've seen? But we see the flashbacks with Ellie, not only Ellie but also with Joel too. Like, Joel. So like, even though we don't get to see Joel in the present, we also get we even though we don't get to see Joel in the present, we get to see him in the flashbacks. Like, hold on. Like, seeing him again, like seeing him saving Ellie, like from the first game, seeing him the time when he was gonna kill the Abby. Well, that was like, I mean, that one was like, well, that one, Joel and Ellie hospital, that's a flashback. This one was present, but here I'm talking about the flashback. We're gonna see him again, birthday, Joel taking Ellie to a museum for her birthday, and seeing Joel again, with Ellie going to the music store to get her new strings for her guitar, and seeing Joel again at the end of the game, a flashback, him talking to Ellie about what happened at the party and about the fireflies. Like, I enjoyed seeing flashbacks of Joel, but I didn't like the fact that, you know, that we see Joel alive and thinking that he was gonna be part of the journey with Ellie to Seattle, but the whole thing was just a trick. I didn't like that. I'm just being honest here. So another reason why I give the story a 6.5 out of 10 is because the ending, it was, like I said, I don't like it, but at the same I don't hate it, but at the same time I don't like it. I'm in between. Like, it was, the ending was tragic. It was cold. Like, we see Ellie trying to play the guitar with her damaged hand, think about her last time with Joel, and we see her leaving the guitar and walking away from the farm wherever she goes to, probably back to Jackson, and it's like, that's like the most saddest ending I've ever seen in a video game. That's sad right there. And Abby and Lev, they got their happy ending, basically. Ellie doesn't kill Abby. Abby runs away with Lev on the boat, and they head off to wherever the Fireflies are, and that's where they're probably now with the Fireflies and enjoying their life, whatever they're doing now with the Fireflies. And Ellie, she gets a sad ending. I mean, she lost everybody close to her. She lost Joel, she lost Dina, she lost JJ, she lost Tommy, she lost Jesse. Like, it's sad. She ended up alone in the end. And just saying that being alone, that's her worst fear. She mentioned it in the first game. She's afraid, being end up alone, and that's what happened. She ended up alone. Naughty Dog could have at least gave Ellie a happy ending. Like, maybe, like, you know, a little bit, like, you know, make it sad but also happy at the same time, you know? Like, make it like a tragic ending, but at the same time make it a little bit happy. Like, give Ellie that a bit ounce of happiness right there, but no. So I give the story a 6 point out of 10. I give the music a 10 out of 10, and the gameplay I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, I enjoy playing the game. It just could have been better if Joel didn't get killed off early, and Ellie could have at least get a bit of a happy ending to herself, but she didn't. And not only that, let me exit out here. I've been hearing rumors that there's going to be a part 3 of The Last of Us. Why? Is because they're saying that this opening screen here is not Santa Barbara. It is not where Ellie dropped off to find Abby here. They're saying that this opening screen is where Abby and Lev are with the Fireflies. That big dome shaped building that the guy in the radio described where they are, the Fireflies, like, that's where they are right now. That this opening screen is Abby and Lev with the Fireflies right now. I mean, it kind of makes sense, because the whole time the opening screen, the boat was on a lake and it was dark and gloomy. The boat was on the water and there was nothing. And that's what I saw in the end. And then here we are, new open screen. I thought it was Santa Barbara, and that dome was probably where, you know, Ellie was trying to find Abby. But no, they're saying that this opening screen is where Abby and Lev are with the Fireflies. So right here, that this could be like a hint to tell you that there's going to be a part 3. And if Naughty Dog is making a part 3, then this is what I'm thinking they're going to do. Probably The Last of Us Part 3 will be about Abby and Lev, because I have a feeling when they left that their story cannot end there. Like, it's not over. I had a feeling that Abby and Lev's story is not over. And yeah, so maybe The Last of Us Part 3 will be about Abby and Lev with the Fireflies, and hopefully they add in Ellie too, whatever she's doing. Hopefully, whatever Ellie's doing, they'll put Ellie's involvement with Abby and Lev with the Fireflies. Hopefully, whatever The Last of Us Part 3 is gonna be about, if Naughty Dog is gonna take another 7 years for them to create a part 3, then bring it on. I'm willing. I waited 7 years for this game. I might as well wait another 7 years for part 3. I mean, hey, I enjoyed playing. Say it again. I enjoyed playing The Last of Us Part 2. It could have been a little better, but again, I enjoyed playing it. Of course, obviously, I will play this again, and and if Naughty Dog is making a part 3, bring it. I'm willing to wait. And yeah. And yeah, there it goes. That is my full review of what I think about the story, what I think about the ending, the characters, the features, and what I give my rating, and what I give my ratings based on what I think about the story, the gameplay, and the music. And yeah, there you go. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about my final thoughts about this game. And yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw in my description, I am planning to play Life is Strange. Yeah, that's right, Life is Strange, about Max. If you guys have not heard Life is Strange, then you guys are missing out. Life is Strange is about, Season 1, Life is Strange, is about Max finding out she has a rewind power, and not only is it involved with her rewind power, it also involves her relationship with Chloe, her best friend. But also but also that's not it of the Life is Strange series. There's also a prequel, Life is Strange Before the Storm, that's about Chloe and her friendship with Rachel. And there's also Life is Strange 2 with about brothers. Hold on, sorry. Daniel and Sean, right there. That's Life is Strange series. So, right there, I'm giving an announcement right here, right now. On my gaming channel, I am planning to play the Life is Strange series. So, stay tuned for August 4th. That's on a Tuesday. So, stay tuned for that. For Life is Strange, be playing off on Max's story. And then head on, I'll be playing the prequel of Chloe. And then head on, I'll be playing the story of Sean and Daniel. There you go. Again, hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about my final thoughts on this game. And yeah. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe button if you guys want to see me play Life is Strange. Ta-da! Have a good day, everybody.